Hello, everyone. We would like to welcome you at our webinar, Workforce of the Future. My name is Maria Sabiniewicz, and I'm Sales Director at Mindbox, and I'm having with me Marcin Szolno.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Marcin is our Business Development Manager for Intelligent Process Automation. So let me go through the agenda quickly. So something is not working.
Jesteśmy on mute. Słyszy nas?
Yes. Okay. So the agenda for today, we will tell you in few words who we are. I will reflect on workforce of the future for in 2030 perspective, so 10 years time. We'll go through virtual employee. What is it, and why do you need it actually, and what it can do for you in your organization. We'll give you some technology background, what components make our virtual employee. We'll go through some virtual employees examples. Then we'll tell you what areas of the business you can use, in which areas of the business you can use virtual employees. I will show you some simple ROI for the business case. And we'll go through at the end of our presentation with the virtual employee journey. So where to start, how to conduct the project, and of course, if there are questions, we will take questions. So a few words about who we are. Marcin, can you say a few words?
Exactly. Welcome, first of all guests. Welcome our neighbors. I see many people enrolled from Germany that actually know a lot about our country of origin. However, I can see a big amount of guests from Gulf region. So just a quick introduction on the region where we come from. So we are from Poland. Yeah, we're an IT company from Poland. Actually from the heart of Europe. We are a proud member of European Union from 2004. Relatively big market. Also for IT, over almost 40 million people. Many people know Poland for John Paul II, Chopin, or Copernicus, or not to mention our famous beverages.
Or Maria Polska.
Yeah, but a lot of people know also from our famous beverage. But not many people, not everybody knows Poland for world-class IT talents, which you can see on the next slide. Due to hacker ranks, we are in the top year by year. In this one, we struck became just after China and Russia. In general, there are plenty of good developers in Central and Eastern Europe, so just like our neighbors from Slovakia, from Ukraine. And this is not a coincidence that there are a lot of shared services, like over 800 shared services in Poland for global players. So here's the simple message: we are still cheaper region, so you have a great value for money for your shared services or IT services in general.
One thing I will also underline that people in Poland, they speak very good English, which makes us really attractive because regardless of the year which you will take, Poland is almost among top 5 in the developers communities, but we also speak good English, which really makes us good candidates to help shared services all over the world.
This is true, especially during the Scrum meetings in terms of software developer for the product companies. Yeah. So vast majority, big amount of those highly skilled developers work for Mindbox.
Right.
So we employ over 200 IT specialists from various backgrounds, like from business or system analysts to Java developers. And trust me, that we have really harsh, severe criteria of selection of those developers.
I think it's worth mentioning that we specialize in RPA, which is quite famous now and very common.
Robotic process automation, not everybody is aware of it.
Exactly. Artificial intelligence, cloud native. So the consultants are not just Java and testers. These are highly skilled resources.
Exactly. as we were formed in 2007, we actually have gone global. So we are present in over 30 countries, and this is also important because I'm very often asked by the prospects from Gulf region, from Saudi Arabia, from Kuwait, have we done projects in their region? Yes, we have. We did projects in Africa and GCC countries, for instance, ERP integration. That ERP is one of the our divisions. We're gonna discuss it later. So here you can see the Mindbox consists of four divisions versus intelligent processes, which we are discussing at the moment. So which globally
We'll
stands,
reflect on that later in the
exactly
presentation.
stands for robotic process automation. Is like a buzzword at the moment. The second division is ERP systems. This is actually close connected. Yeah, so some people, some companies they start from ERP systems and then later they implement automated. Exactly. So they first there may be the case that they need ERP system if they don't have one. Yeah? The other one is cloud native, which is innovative software development environment, which is loved by developers because it gives a continuous development. This is very often used by banks or telecoms that enables you for continuous, just like Toyota, a continuous improvement of applications. You have banking applications when you pay with your mobile, they don't have to close it down. They can actually make changes in real time. And finally, Mind Workers, this is our own name, so this is just IT outsourcing of our IT specialist outsourcing. So whenever you're, for instance, a product company and you need for a certain period of time to hire a skilled developer or a team of developers with a project manager, for instance, you can always write to us as well. Yeah. Here are just some of the selected clients. You can see from different backgrounds. We did implementation of robotic process automation to Scania. We have a big client, HSBC, where we deliver our developers on outsourcing basis, as I mentioned, and other clients, we do the managed services for ERP maintenance. Yeah.
So, talking about workforce of the future, have you ever thought of you, how you picture yourself in 10 years' time from now? What would you do? And how your professional workspace will look like? I was wondering if you are, if you would think that the technology will take your job away. Is there a red line that we should put for technology where technology should not be reaching? Let's try to answer this during today's presentation. So I looked at some PwC report that defines workforce of the future, and the report was made in 5 countries: US, UK, Germany, India, and China. So all over the world, people, more than 1,000 people, reflected what they think of the workforce of the future, how they picture themselves in 10 years' time. And despite the automation spreading the word, people think that they are very positive. More than 73% respondents feel positive about world of work. As many as 37% are excited to see world of possibilities. 65% sees technology developments as improving their job prospects. In India, almost 90%, 88%. So in India, people think that the technology will help them improve their job prospects. And 3/4 of the respondents across the globe agree that technology will never replace the human mind. And this is what we really think at Mindbox, that technology is just to help you run your operation, to do your job better, not to replace you. And this is what we help our customers to achieve.
Yes, we are irreplaceable.
We are
Okay.
irreplaceable,
Okay.
exactly. So there are some other key findings in the report which are quite interesting, and I wanted to share with you. 70% of respondents they consider using performance enhancers to improve employment prospects. That means that they are ready to take some drugs or medicines that will help them concentrate on their work, which is quite surprising.
This is surprising. 70%. I would rather go for virtual assistant and concentrate on this.
Yeah. So especially prone to that are millennials and people from China, 87%, and people from India, 72%. So this is an unusual number. Widely different level, people see themselves that they have different skills across the world. They see themselves, not somebody is judging them, but the respondents, 74% respondents in India claim to have science, technology, engineering, and math skills, whereas only 33% in the UK. Yeah. So, three-quarters of respondents claim to be ready to learn new skills or completely retrain in order to be employable in the future. So, people are willing to change, people are willing to retrain themselves. At the same time, the respondents they underline that they have skills like problem solving, creativity, adaptability, innovation. So they make them good pick for future employers. So they are ready to retrain, ready to gain new skills, and they are ready to adapt. So if the people are so ready to learn new skills, why not help them see that technology can enhance their work experience? How? Imagine that you have a virtual assistant that helps you doing your job. So there is a virtual assistant always present in a kayak, like in the picture here, that helps you drive through your professional duties. A virtual employee.
I really like this example because the kayak is different than actually the rowing boat. Because in rowing, when one person does a mistake, it can actually damage the entire boat. Whereas in kayak, you have this kind of assistant that even if makes a certain mistake, you can always go and you can adjust. Yeah, you can correct. And on the other hand, when you are tired, the
You can
assistant
rest and
the assistant can do the job for you. You can enjoy the suntan and surroundings, right?
so imagine that you have a virtual assistant. And what is virtual assistant?
What is virtual? No, I would rather say what is not.
What is that?
Yeah, because I approach clients from say manufacturing industry, yeah, and they say, oh yeah, we're okay with robots, we have enough of robots working on assembly lines. I said, no, look, I'm talking about the back office, yeah, I'm talking about the software that imitates actually human behavior, yeah. So I'm not talking about virtual bartenders. I actually quite like this picture. I'm wondering if there's a Polish vodka on the picture here. So this kind of software consists of, in terms of Mindbox, which is our competitive advantage, we deliver automation software via three components, which is OCR, which is optical character recognition,
which is basically scanning the documents,
or electronic documents.
Or
because it depends. Sometimes you can have a logistic company that have a lot of paper documents, like custom documentations that needs to comply with law. Some people already have everything in electronic documents. Yeah, quite advanced in this, but there's always some space for automation, even though, yeah. So sometimes, if applicable, we add our component of artificial intelligence to interpret this data that was intelligently scanned, and finally the robot does the rest. And how the how the robot
virtual employee is just mimics the way we work, right?
Exactly, and this is the way. Please have a look. I mean, this is just like human being. Imagine, well, quite fast moving.
It's very fast, yeah.
It's very fast, yeah. Because so it's not a magic stick, yeah. It's not that you touch a button and it's done. It's gonna take some time, yeah. The robot, of course, like a human being, has some limitations, but on the other hand, the robot won't go for a coffee, yeah. They won't go for a weekend, won't book holidays. It's gonna work like this 24/7, actually. Here you can see on the right hand side you can see actually the UI path engine, how this is written, the scripts by the developer, and on the other side you can see the iScala ERP and actually the process of booking invoices.
So the user experience is like just a simple Windows application, yeah, so that we are used to it, yeah. So this is quite.
Sometimes you can see the level, how the robot works, and sometimes it's not on the user interface level.
Okay. So, as you've seen in the picture, the robot really runs fast, and if we were, as humans, to enter so many information so fast, probably we would need some training and kind of competition. So the virtual employee is managed by a robot that mimics our work, and at the beginning of the work, we start with OCR, as Marcin said. So this is a software that allows documents like invoices, insurance claims, forms, different types, documents, production orders, different kind of documents to be taken into our IT ecosystems. Yeah, so they can either be paper ones, they can be digital ones, but the data from these documents is being processed in our IT ecosystem. Then the data is analyzed, recognized. There are some solution recommendations being done, some searches. We extract the necessary information from these forms or orders, and then this data is placed into the final system, like ERP. You want to book something, or you want to book a sales order in a CRM system, or you want to send an email that certain action has been processed, or the order was booked, or that Excel was processed, or any action that you want to be done. Normally, you would do it yourself, but with our virtual employee assistant, it's done by kind of robots. So I will give you some examples on how it works. So this is an example from accounting of a virtual employee. So imagine that the virtual employee scans documents or receives them by email, by any other digital form. Then the documents are processed and structured. Then the data is verified, and these two things, they happen in OCR. Then the data is being interpreted by elements of artificial intelligence that we use, and then the data lands in ERP system or DMS system, which is the document management system. So the invoice is being booked in the general ledger, and everything is done without human intervention. If something goes wrong, of course, it goes to kind of error file, and it waits for the human operator to take an action. Yeah, but 95, 98% of documents are processed automatically. So the other example is from the sales department. Let's imagine that you have a sales order coming in. Again, it can be electronic, it can be via a paper document. So the robot checks, the virtual employee checks every 10 minutes if something has arrived. If it did, then it starts processing and structuring the data. Then the sales order is verified if all necessary fields are filled in. And then data is interpreted and it lands in CRM, and the order is recorded or sent for invoicing. It depends what you want to achieve. Yeah, we did in customer situation that the order was recorded in CRM, and that's what our customer wanted. So these are two examples. Virtual employee can be used in many other areas, which will be mentioned by Marcin later. But these are the simple ones that everyone would have, I suppose, in their business, because everybody does accounting, everybody does sales. So these are very common examples. Marcin, say a few words about,
What kind of processes, yeah?
Yes,
Can
what
be
kind of
automated.
processes?
You can all see the slide, right? You can read it. This is written in very professional manner, yeah, like rule-based, high volumes, highly manual, repetitive, yeah, standard inputs. What does it mean to you? I mean, let's be honest. This is boring. Right? This is boring and probably easy,
I
right?
think the business sometimes can be boring, but
The business needs to be boring sometimes, yeah, like accountants.
Our contribution makes it not so boring, yeah. So we have to have some.
Yeah, but what's the message for the business owner? Yeah, I mean, imagine this is boring and easy, right? So boring is an instant message for in terms of your how your employees going to react. Yeah? Do you want your employees to be bored at work?
Not boring, but maybe repetitive. Yeah.
Repetitive
so if you
is a pain.
Exactly, if you process certain thing, certain task repetitively all the time for 10 hours or 5 hours or even 2 hours, then you can get bored. Yeah. So,
exactly. Imagine myself. I'm a salesperson. Yeah. I'd rather take this time to talk to you, to meet, to shake hands, to meet different people, and not to update my CRM for ages. Yeah. So this is in terms of myself, an employee or the accountant. Imagine accountant that was a chartered accountant, that was certified, that studied for so many years, had the challenging exams, passed all the A student, and you want this you want from this accountant to enter 100 invoices per day, for instance, right? So first message, this is boring, and another message for
not this is boring.
employers.
The actions taken by people regularly are boring. So if the actions are
to
boring,
me this is boring.
then,
Updating my CRM, okay? This is boring, but important.
Yes.
But very important, because okay, a lot of salespeople, for instance, they hate CRM. I'm a fan of CRM because I like everything to be structured. Yeah, I think that without CRM you cannot actually work. But another message for your employer is this is easy. So you don't want to pay a lot of money for your chartered accountant or for the sharp salesperson that actually racks you the commission checks and brings a lot of revenue for your company. So you would rather this salesperson to have a chat with the client, to make a phone calls, to send emails, and not update CRM for ages, right? So think about it when you think of what processes can be done.
So let me rephrase that in a business kind of command. That the processes that are good examples to be given to virtual employees are usually highly manual and repetitive. The processes with standard electronic input types like Excel, Word, and files, readable, they are good examples to be given to virtual employee. And if the process is rule-based, is also a good example. And if the process is in high volume, so if there are many documents, high frequency of the certain tasks, these are good candidates to be given to virtual employees.
Yeah,
right?
This is actually very important requirement. Yeah, because if I am a person that actually needs to update two entries in CRM per day, maybe it's not worth.
I hope you have more than two.
I have, but there are some companies that. But this is important just for our guests to understand that, of course, the virtual assistant is not necessary for everybody. Yeah?
Okay, so virtual employee can be employed in many areas of your business. It's not an IT-driven component. It's not IT-driven solution. Virtual employee can assist you in HR, doing payroll, time management. We at our company we automated timesheets that are booked into our financial system. Finance accounting, these are the examples that we mentioned that are really common, yeah, order to cash.
Yeah. So whenever I am asked by my prospects, let's say from manufacturing area, okay, have you got any experience with manufacturing business? Yes, we have, but it doesn't matter. Actually, it's not important because you have this kind of departments in manufacturing and logistics, in consulting. So sky is the limit here. It's up to brainstorm what kind of processes can be automated, and just let's do the calculation phase.
If it pays off, yes.
Exactly.
So there are many areas you can employ virtual employee, and it's good to have more than one to start a project like this. So here we put some examples just to give you an overview how we perform. Yeah, so we did in kind of so you can imagine how much time it takes. So we have worked with automotive company in Poland using full stack like robots, like the scanning part, OCR, artificial intelligence, and it was in accounting. And the result was that they could resign from the shared service and they could take the process back to them. It was a business decision. It wasn't, down to us, but it was a business decision that they wanted the process to be on their side. And it took them only 3 months. Then another company from Germany, where we employed robots and the scanning function. It was manufacturing and IT where we did our implementation. It was implementation of food components and ordering automation. And they managed to free some resources. The FTE were moved to other projects with this automation coming. They were not fired, but they could do different things. Yeah, and the project took us also 3 months. Another one that took us 2 months was food production in Romania. Again, financial space, and then the problem was recognizing banking records. Yeah, so the error rate went only to 1%, which is really, really low. So the accuracy of the virtual assistant made them really, really happy. So there are different drivers of companies who decide to employ virtual employees. Yeah.
Yeah, the robot once taught by machine learning won't make mistake if once taught. And finally, my favorite examples, again, sales, as I'm a sales professional, came from my favorite because I use it as well. We use it for our own needs as well, but we implemented it. We had a client from consulting sector in Poland that sold very sophisticated services. So imagine they had a problems with recruiting. Finally, they recruit few salespeople. They had to be really like sharp people, not only in terms of communication but they required a lot of knowledge, of their products and services that they made. And the company was expecting them to bring new business. Yeah, they had a lot of existing accounts, but finally this company was doing really well. Yeah, so those salespeople had a lot of key account management duties, right? So they did a lot of CRM, they did reply to emails and so on and so forth. And imagine they didn't have time to do the fanatical prospecting. Yeah? They had no time for LinkedIn, for cold calls, for other sales activities that actually can attract new business. Yeah. So when we implemented the robots, they could do the same work. They could handle their existing customers, and the robots did actually the business development duties and bringing them leads. Yeah.
The initial, yeah, because they needed to follow up.
Of course. Then as we said, the robot is not going to replace the human being, but it can bring leads. It can generate leads, and it can do the work where normal salespeople cannot do at the same time.
And how long was the project?
Oh, it was just 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months. Okay. So, can you evaluate on the benefits that people can reach when they employ virtual employee?
Yeah, this is just a summary of what we actually said. We showed you the numbers. Yeah, you can have a lot of benefits. Probably you can name more, and our clients probably name much more that we are not aware of. Yeah. So from quality of processes, like one of our client from logistics company, they didn't care actually about the number of invoices that they could process, but they care about accuracy, because it was very important to these logistic companies. They had operations all over the world, and they had to be compliant. The documents, custom documentations had to comply with legal requirements locally. Yeah, in South America, for instance, so we reduced the error rate to actually to zero. Yeah, they reduce their process work. Yeah, as I told you, like virtual employee can work 24/7 and has no breaks. Won't gossip. This is also
Won't
important.
go coffee.
Exactly. Yeah. It accelerates your process. That I cannot justify. You saw it in a movie how fast it was. I was actually afraid that you're not going to see anything from this movie because the robot was so fast.
But the robot is fast, but also works 24/7. Yeah. So one kind of solution can be employed in many areas, in few at least. Yeah. And we said that one automation can help with one automation stack that we offer can help with, I don't know, 10 to 16 different processes, right?
Exactly. And you can scale your processes. Yeah. So whereas your accountant could normally proceed up to 3,000 invoices, now you can proceed up to 5,000 invoices, and you can reach more prospects when you have like a virtual assistant for a sales person. So at the end of the day, we are not robots. We are human beings, and we can be artists. Yeah. So we can freeing up our time for creativity and development.
Okay. So let me go through some ROI components. We work on an assumption that average employee working hours per month it is 100. If someone is interested in details of that, I can share later. But this is what we call effective working time, 100 hours per week. We for our ROI we took an example of 5 employees in a certain area of business. And average time to enter one document, one sales order, one claim, one insurance contract. It's about 3 minutes, we estimate, yeah? And number of documents reported in IT system in 1 hour equals to 20, yeah? So IT system can be CRM, can be billing, can be invoicing, ERP, any IT system that you need to record the document, the claim. So it's about 20 of that such. During 1 hour can be done by regular employee. We took average annual salary, please take in consideration that this is annual salary, 45,000 euro. And
it may differ all over the world, as we have attendees from all over the world, but we assumed at least for Western Europe.
But we checked that the Gulf region is similar in accounting or in sales, yeah. So number of documents per month to be processed, it's about 6,000. So the ROI is simple, but if we have more data from our customers, we can calculate the ROI based on the data given. But if you look at the cost of employees yearly, it's a cost of 226,000 euro per year. Yeah, so the 5 employees, they cost you this amount. Yeah, the software licenses needed, actually this is subscription. Yeah, so that's why it repeats every year, because nowadays vendors, they sell in a subscription mode, so you have to pay every year. But then you receive a cloud infrastructure that usually it is in, or you get some other benefits. So the licenses needed each year, it's about 40,000 euros, and the implementation cost of Mindbox virtual employee, it's 60,000 euro. That in a course give you 100,000. But if you look at the cost of the employees, only cost of employees, nothing else, it's the ROI comes down to 126,000 in the first year, and then you can see that increases year by year. You can take other costs that are not calculated in here, so the ROI will be even greater than this. But for the ease of understanding, it's something like that. So if you have operations where 10 to 15 people perform certain registries or certain process of flow of steps, really freeing their time up to 2 days even gives you enormous savings.
Exactly.
And from the ROI, we'll move to challenges that our customers are telling us. Why not using robots now? Why not using automation, virtual employees? Marcin, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I'd love to, because this is my word that I'm struggling, because this is what I hear from my prospects. And just to be honest, I totally understand this attitude, because if I were a prospect, I would say totally the same. So let us give you some counter arguments, and I'm wondering actually, I don't know if you can write, perhaps you can add some other your objections, or that you're not certain, that you don't understand, refrain you from introducing virtual employee. Like, first thing, especially recently since March, I can see, we have COVID-19, all our capex is frozen. Yeah, I can nothing do about it, right?
So customers are saying so, yeah?
Yeah, they say so. There's nothing I can do about it. If I'm talking to the person who's really in charge, I can say, yeah, this is black swan. Okay, like a black swan, nobody expected. Yeah, but considering what Mary just showed on the other slides and my other slides, considering this kind of savings that you can make and other benefits of scaling, I wouldn't do it despite the COVID-19. I would do it because of COVID-19. I would implement it just now, not to get lost and just to get ahead of competition. We have other priorities at the moment. Yes, I believe so, because especially during the COVID-19, there's so much stuff. Some companies, they were not even ready to
work remotely.
Yeah, to work remotely. It's such a basic thing. Yeah, we have our consultants remotely, so we did quite smoothly this kind of transformation. However, yeah, I understand. We had a client from logistics sector that they just 2 months after COVID-19 pandemic was announced, they just managed to get along with that. But just think about it. We have other priorities. What are the other priorities that actually saving return on investment and having your employees happy? Because you can get employees satisfaction from day one and the return on investment in year one, pretty much. Yeah, we'll use our internal resources. Yes, this is a serious argument. This especially comes from argument from financial sector, from banks. They very often they know that this is their sine qua non kind of. They are very aware that that having virtual assistant, having OCR tools are so vital, so important in their systems, that they already have their internal resources. They do so very often. They do it successfully. Very often they come with the argument that they have kind of secrets, that they need they need certificates that they are reluctant of sharing. So normally what we say to the clients, that they prefer to do it on their own. Say, okay, let's meet in 3 months and let's assess. Yeah, how are you getting on? Very often our clients say, yeah, either we did nothing or we introduced it. The licenses are so expensive that we cannot actually see the return on investment. Yeah,
I will show you from my perspective, from my customers. It's that many times they stuck in IT and or stuck in some one department, and they don't share the knowledge. If you have a company like us helping you to promote the solution internally in the company, then it's you spread the word with the good news that the virtual assistant, virtual employee, that automation can give you benefits. And we have one customer in leasing actually that automated some of the business, some of the processes, and then there was a queue of other departments wanting to automate as well. Yeah, so if not always the company itself is ready to go, broader with the topic of automation, and having an external partner helps them to promote the solution, to run the project, and
Yes, just like consulting companies that is have an advantage over internal one department that has advantage over serving various clients from various sectors. So, but actually, yeah, you can have a lot of ideas. We had like FMCG in Germany client that we did a kind of session of tutoring sessions, kind of seminars for them. We gathered people from various departments and we did a brainstorm. And imagine, and within one day we were able to identify over 50 processes.
Exactly.
Because it's always very important here to remember that one license for one virtual assistant or robot, right? Like our company calls it. It can automate up to like 15 processes, for instance. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, then this is another argument. We already use an ERP system. Yeah, of course. Each and every of our clients, they already have ERP, whether this is SAP or Epicor. Yes, but there's always some space to automate within. Okay, I knew one financial sector company, but it's like 1 in a million that had such ERP system that we said, yeah, there's nothing we can do about it because this is complex. It works in their 25 different countries, and actually it also automates like 90% of work. But this is like 1 in a million, honestly.
But normally, when we go to our ERP customer, then we decide that we can automate certain processes. So what it tends to automate the ERP instead of just regular ERP. So you can, automatically book the invoices. Normally the ERP doesn't do that. Yeah. So
and it's the same like about objections of freeing the budget allocation. Yeah. I'm not going to mention again the benefits that I already mentioned, like scalability, employee satisfaction, but it's also like comparing this time and cost comparing to ERP integration. ERP integrations can take millions of euros and then 2 years to implement, and there's no guarantee that actually it's going to work, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of this is very
actually
important.
we come and we try. Yeah. If it doesn't work for you, you can decide not to go in it. Yeah. But we didn't have a customer that just dropped the topic. Every customer, maybe they took it longer, but everyone got into further development, which is good, which is something that we see with our customers, right?
Yeah, free layoffs. Yeah, redundancy. Yeah, this is very often argument brought by our clients, especially after the recent slide that was showing the return on investment by Mary. Yeah, here we have 5 accountants. Here we have Mindbox solutions. So it means that I have to make 5 people redundant.
No,
that used to work for us for ages, right? So it's up to, first of all, it's up to client's choice. And second, think about it in another way. You can grow, you can scale, having the same resources in times when actually it's very difficult to employ and to find the right stuff. And it's also expensive.
And you can move the people to do something else, yeah?
Exactly.
Or to do creative tasks, even in the same department. But many times we are stuck with doing things that are time consuming, and we don't have time to think, yeah? And having a virtual employee gives you time to think, because the report you need every Monday is ready when you come to work on Monday morning. You open your computer and bam, the report is there.
Exactly, and all that we mentioned above, it's also about your competition. What about the competition? Yeah, they've already introduced the RPA at their work, so it means that we are just equal at the moment, but within 2 years they're going to be way ahead of us, because they're more efficient at their work. So don't procrastinate. Act or wait. Just think about it. The sooner you introduce it, the sooner you're going to get the benefits and competitive advantage. Enough processes or volumes. This is true. This is very smart objective, I would say, because we're going to be honest with you. if you don't have enough processes or volumes,
Mhm.
if you have 3 invoices per month,
No.
you don't need relatively expensive software.
Mhm.
This is true.
Mhm.
So
I wouldn't
we
call
do
it
we
software. I
that
would call it solution that it comes with it. Yeah, but of course there are boundaries where it makes sense. Yeah, so we need to have a number of documents to be processed, different types, different number of steps in the process, number of I don't know suppliers, different things. It has to make sense for you. Yeah, it has to make
Exactly.
sense for the company to invest, and that's what we do. We consult, and if the process is not a good example for automation, we just say, okay, you can do it with macro in Excel.
Yeah.
You don't need the automation. You don't need the virtual employee. So we are honest with our customers.
Because I mean that's why we meet online. Yeah, that's why one of our steps that Mary is going to show you later on is let's meet. Let's see. Let's do the brainstorm. We have very sharp consultants on our sides, and let's assess your processes. Because yeah, maybe this is not for you. So that's why I encourage my prospects to just meet online, prepare a small process, you just describe it. You can even record it online with your smartphone. Everybody has a smartphone at the moment. Yeah. So.
So the last objective.
It takes time. Really?
But
Let's see. I mean, let's see on the slide. Let's find out.
yeah, but I think we've proven already that the projects we did were 3 to 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
So not so much time involving you and your employees, and then the benefit.
I would say that it's sometimes faster because there are cases that, especially in COVID-19,
Yeah.
it had to be implemented way
40,
faster.
40,
Like
40 hours. Yeah.
yes, like in terms of kind of deliveries or commerce activities or the medical health system to actually to look after the patients and customer service desks.
So actually, where do we start our virtual employee journey? How do we start it? So first of all, we listen. We listen to our customers. We listen to our prospects, and we prepare the organization for the virtual employees. Right? We talk to different departments. We try to spread good news of automating processes and the benefits, as we did like right now. We showed you what is possible. We go through some backlog of processes that they may think of automizing. And this is kind of discussion. We listen, you talk, we reflect, and this is how we start. Then we pick a process that is good example for automation, and we do proof of concept and pilot, and we start pilot preparation. So if it doesn't pays off to you, if it doesn't meet your requirements, we just back off and that's it. But it never happens, right? Every time we start doing, maybe it takes more time, but always customers, they see benefits even from the first process automated.
And of course, while we have the discussion and kind of seminars with our consultants, due to our experience, we give you hints. Yeah. So we ask you like open questions. So we kind of give you an idea of processes where you can have attention.
What is good to pay attention to, exactly. So together we assess the benefits, and based on this decision, you as our customer make forward decisions to go or not to go with us. But as I said, if someone starts, if someone already decided, it never happened that someone would drop out. So once we have the benefits and we assess them, we create together with our customers strategy preparation. Because as we mentioned already, the virtual employee automation needs some more processes than one just. So we need a strategy, we need a backlog of processes that can be given to virtual employees. And we try to plan with our customers what should be first, second, third, and next. Yeah. So if everything is ready, we can start the implementation. and it's a constant improvement. Yeah, we work on some process, we close one process, we begin another one. Sometimes we start with just with scanning part, and then we employ artificial intelligence to.
But not a lot of maintenance.
Yeah.
I'm talking about other processes.
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
we talk about other processes, and then we use other components, so the project grows, the project extends, and not only in the specific process, but in different other processes, right? So it's a kind of cooperation. So is there anything that you think we should be adding? I think that from what we said, our customers would understand that technology will never replace the human mind, and this is not something that we here at Mindbox want to do. We want people who work with us to see the benefits of technology, to employ something that sometimes might be considered as very expensive, not right for me because I'm too small, or I have too many complex processes, or there are different reasons why people think that technology will not help solve their issues. But we think that there is always a way to find benefits for your organization on your certain level of development to run your operation smoother, quicker, just better.
Yeah? I mean, I'm more than sure, because I think that we did it in such a way that our attendees can have an opportunity just to better illustrate. Because when you hear this kind of buzzwords, or RPA, blah, 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 OCR, artificial intelligence, it's like a rocket science or something. And what this is one of our aims, is to just our attendees from different sectors, manufacturing, logistics, or any other, our guests, is I believe that it was kind of brainstorm. That when we showed something that opened up their eyes, oh yeah, this is actually, yeah, we have the problem. Yeah, our customer service, or whatever, our accountants, our sales people, yeah.
Many times it happens like that. We start from something, because when we come to the company, we have to tell what we did, and then if the customer is open for changes, then the brainstorming goes on, right?
So I also enhance, like when we have meetings with our clients, like e-meetings, like at the moment.
Right now, right?
Yeah. So we strongly enhance to engage people from various departments to see their pain, actually. Yeah? Because sometimes you may not, even as a manager, you may not even realize about the processes, even of the CFO or something.
So this is everything what we prepared for this visual meeting. So if you have, we would like to thank you, of course, for taking part in our webinar. If there are any questions, we will happily answer them. If anyone has any questions, I'm reading the notes. So, anyone?
I think it was clear.
I think it was clear, okay. So, if there are no answers, there are answers, of course. If there are no questions, we would like to thank you very much for being with us. And if you have any questions in the future, please mail us, reach us on LinkedIn, or
just give me a bell, that I'm open.
Okay, thank you very much.